sir, and welcome back. You are now in the gym with Jim. I am your host, Jim, and with my kuya, my dog, Trizzy. What's going on, baby?
We're doing well. This is what episode 8.
It's episode 8, man. RP Kobe.
R.P. Cole for
RP
real.
Black Mamba, man.
Shout out the Grinches, man.
Oh, those shoes are hard. Yo, that's really on
The
topic.
Mamba seat.
I'm Mamba shoes are hard. On the topic, once upon a time, I had I want to say the 8s,
Okay.
the Kobe 8s Black History Months. I
Hard.
did not appreciate them for what they were, and I left them in a drawer in playground Scarborough, and like kids wear them like when I wasn't wearing them, and now they're gone, and I miss them so much.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it was an idiot thing,
You just allowed it like that?
bro. I wasn't thinking like big picture. Like I wasn't wearing them at the time. Like
I'm sick.
you're sick. You're sick. You know what Kobe's go for now? Rent,
Brother.
a car payment.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm waste. Anyways, that's enough of my waste activities. Let's do our let's do our catch up, my brother. How are you feeling, man? How are you this week?
You know what? This week has been hell, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
No.
work has been extremely busy. Just based on certain circumstances, but work has been busy. I've been taking on other people's volume of work, but it's and trying to juggle that with fitness and eating right.
Of course.
It gets to a point. Sometimes it gets to a point,
Yo, it gets to a point, you know.
and I try to fight back, but sometimes I'll be catching the punches, brother. You know what I mean? So it's tough, but you know what? We're here. We made it through the week. Tomorrow's a new start.
Amen.
So we're just gonna keep fighting. What about you?
Yeah, this week was interesting. At work we're learning some new stuff, so I love some new information. I still feel like I need to add more to my plate. Whether it be like another activity, something that's going to generate revenue, ideally, or then generate income, I should say. But again, coaching is starting back up soon. So this week we have tryouts.
Nice.
I was actually asked in real time, actually, just before we started this, to coach the grade 8 team as well as the grade 6 team.
Oh, so you're taking on another team?
I'm thinking about it. We'll have a meeting internally and see like what we can, how much time I can actually put away. But I'm not against it. Like I said, I'm enjoying coaching right now. And if as long as the kids are down for it and they're locked in, I'm down to lock in for it. In the summertime, we practice a little bit less. It's
Okay.
the only one league and circuit that we are into.
Okay.
So it's not so bad, not so demanding. But I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm strongly thinking about it. Probably will do it at the end of the day. I'm not hooping the same way in the summertime. So as long as it's not affecting my day parties, I'm with it. You get me?
You know what? This is the one-off question, but
Yeah.
Can you quantify the amount of effort it takes to coach one team alone, let alone two?
You know what? It really depends on the kind of coach you are. For me, I'm really competitive. So I take a lot of stuff that I do like home with me, and like I study what we go over and how I can best maximize this kid and that kid, and like also how I can best
Okay.
teach them what they're struggling with while making sure the team doesn't fall behind trying to focus on one kid fixing their jump shot or whatever. So is it time consuming? Yes, it is. But I have put out on the socials looking for assistant coach
Okay.
prior to actually getting the opportunity to coach the grade 8s. So if I get assistant coach for the grade 6s and the grade 8s, then I'll 100% do it. Because that way I can, if I'm not there for some reason or like, I'm burnt out, or things happen,
Yeah, so
I can at least
step
give
in,
somebody a game plan and be like, hey, just run over this,
execute.
go through this, whatever. But then it's about finding the right assistant coach. I'm not just bringing somebody in because you're my friend, you want to stand on the sideline. Like, nah, you have to work. Like when I started coaching, I had to work. Like I had to bring I had to bring a drill that would take up 5 to 10 minutes. That was time that we had to fit it in a schedule.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's how I learned to coach. Like it wasn't like okay, you'll just come and try something out. Nah, this guy made me do police check everything. Like it was real, and I respect it
Damn.
because it got me to where I am today, where I feel like okay, I'm gonna have an assistant coach who's gonna, have some autonomy over these kids and what they're doing and the time that they're spending. We're not just gonna do it because we're friends and we hoop together. And nah, we want to give these kids the best
Yeah.
experience that we can give them as individuals.
And I think also, question for you then.
Yeah.
Does in picking an assistant coach, does play style need to align?
You know, a lot of some really good coaches don't really hoop that well.
Interesting.
I mean, at the NBA level, like at the kid level,
Yeah,
it would be
sure.
nice if you were good at basketball could understand like X's and O's and breaks down, but some people are really good at basketball and don't understand the technicalities of it. And some people are really good at the X and O's and they just aren't that good at basketball. So you can have both on both sides. So does play style matter? Yes, for me, because I would like my assistant coach to be really, really good at one or the other. So understanding defenses or understanding offenses. Just because that way we can split it up. And I'm pretty good with defenses. Like I have like an understanding, but it's kids basketball, so it's not that deep. And then for offenses, I have a lot of stuff that I want to like get into and kind of break down. So having somebody who could do the defensive side would really help me out.
Is it safe to say you're both? You're a great basketball player and a great.
I mean, if you're asking me, if the size 13, size 14s fit, man, put them on, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, put them on, man, put them on. Hey, yo, listen, I actually remember. I want to point back to our conversation we had in episode 6.
Okay.
And in episode 6, we were talking about Jamaica and their shortcomings during the Winter Olympics, which is fine because the boys competed. Shout out to all the Jamaicans out there.
Hey, shout out to them for competing. Competing alone.
And you know what? And they finished. Whatever it is, a lot of certain Caribbean countries didn't finish. And I'm not gonna put nobody. I'm not gonna put nobody on the internet, but just know certain people didn't finish. Well, listen, we talked about the next steps, which is right now would be Jamaica's basketball, the World Cup. I believe it's the World Cup of FIBA's.
Yes. Yeah.
So Jamaica, Canada, Bahamas, and Puerto Rico are in the same stage. Same stage. Yeah, same group. So at the time of recording for episode 6, Jamaica was 2-2 because they beat Puerto Rico twice, which is a big feat. Canada was 2-2, and then Jamaica's next opponents were Bahamas without all their NBA talent. So nobody healed, no VJ Edgecombe, et cetera, et cetera. Like none of the NBA talent.
Okay.
Jamaica obviously didn't have Norman Powell and their NBA talent. And they played Bahamas. Unfortunately, lost by 3. They should have won that game. I think that game was very, very important because their next opponent was Canada.
I see.
Where they also lost by 16. Tough. Look, they played at home. They played in Kingston, which is big. The crowd was amazing.
Yeah.
For what I saw, they played hard. Again, the Bahamas loss does matter to me, and I think it's going to matter to them in the grand scheme. I think because of who you play when everybody crosses over to kind of get that berth into the FIBAs.
Yeah.
Canada's undefeated. Shout out Canada. Hey, good job. I'm kind of feeling under my hoodie. Shout out Canada. Good job.
Still rapping.
But yeah, I really want Jamaica to win that game.
How close was Jamaica Bahamas? I know obviously 3 points, but how close was it from like a talent perspective? Like was it, I imagine both sides are putting in work.
They're fighting, man. Look, I think talent wise it kind of matches up. I think the people who play for the Bahamas, like as the whole team, including like the NBA talent, I think they're like much more closely rooted to the program. So, for example, like during the Olympic run, you'll see a lot more Bahamians like playing together.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
Whereas now for the Jamaican national club, a lot of people are just now kind of coming around to the idea of doing that. Like I think the people who are in the NBA that are Jamaican or of Jamaican descent typically lean more towards the U.S. side first, and then sometimes they come over to the Jamaican side after not making the U.S. team, which is unfortunate. But it happens.
Oh, I see
what you know what I mean? Yeah. For some people, it isn't like a first option to be like, no, let me go play for Jamaica. Which, if I was in that position, which I'm not, but if I was in that position, I think, and I was of that talent, I was in the NBA and the U.S. team wasn't checking for me, and I wanted to play in the Olympics, I would just go play for my grandma's country or however that worked out. Like, why not? I want to play. If you want to play, you want to play. I understand playing for the U.S. is like the biggest stage, but I mean, now the talent's so like worldwide spread that I don't think I would think too much about going to play for Jamaica or whatever Caribbean country that they might be representing.
I think also one thing to consider, and maybe you keep me humble if this is true or not, but players want to go play where their chances of winning is the highest. 100% that plays to the decision of who am I going to play for, period, right?
No, of course. Like, you want to go there, you want to win, you have the best showing.
Yeah.
But also, like, and this is the way I would look at it as someone who's a competitor or playing in the sport. The NBA is like the best 500 people they can put together
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets to play and demonstrate those skills and whatever the case may be. A lot of people get to go to like the Olympics and FIBAs and put on a show and then earn a contract that might be like, hey, you know what, this player might be better in isolations or these kind of actions.
Mm-hmm.
So playing for a country or leading a country to where they have to get to goes, I think, goes far.
I see what you're saying.
And just to make like a quick example, um, chap, I forget his name. He used to play. Oh, Rondé, thank you. So Rondé Hollis Jefferson played for the Raptors, and then he was out of the league a year later, or maybe 2 years later. He now plays in Jordan. I don't remember if he plays in Jordan, or whatever, but he has his citizenship in Jordan, so he's over there now. And during the previous FIBA run, he went nuts. Like they were calling him like Kobe of Jordan. Like he was doing crazy stuff. Like
That's tough.
40 balls, 50 balls, 50 balls. Like carrying the team. Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. I remember reading the athletic like thing he put out about.
Yeah.
He was just waiting for an opportunity. He wanted to get back in the league. He wanted to show people he can do it, and he really balled out. Unfortunately, it didn't land him a role in the NBA.
Okay.
Because that archetype of player is like really hard to work around. However, it put him on the map, and I believe it did land him like more steady work overseas.
Yeah.
So like anytime you're playing basketball and it can be filmed and put out there for the masses, you're always being looked at as someone who can benefit a team somewhere else, especially in the FIBAs, because there's so many big programs you can go to.
Yeah.
So to tie it all together, if I'm Canadian born and Team Canada's not calling me, but my parents or their parents are Jamaican and they come to me and they're like, hey, you can just come play for us. And Team Canada's not putting me on their qualifier team or they're not putting me in any of the teams where they play together to try out. I'm just going to go play for Jamaica and then put on a show.
I think also you'll quote unquote leave a better legacy playing for somebody, your grassroots versus ring chasing, for example.
I mean, yeah, like...
Would you agree?
No, I think so too. And then, like, we're very big on this podcast. I think that being able to influence people and give people another outlook, another idea of like, hey, I could actually just go play for my home country where I vacation once or twice or whatever, and show the next kid like, yeah, you can do this too. I think all those things matter, and technically they don't isn't doing isn't doing anybody any justice. So like, yes, answer your question, 100%. If I can go home and play on a major stage or help them contribute to get to a major stage who haven't been in years, I'm taking an opportunity 10 to 10 times. As long as I'm not in season, that's not going to affect what I'm doing. I'm not going to go play hurt. But if I'm good and I can do it and it's not a contract year, by all means, why not?
That would be foolish if you played.
You know what I mean? It's not worth it. You're not going to go out there and be like, hey, and I'm going to go hoop and then you twist your knee and then you lose out on $1 million because you want to show. Nah, don't do that. But I'm saying if you're able to and you can contribute, then by all means contribute. Like, go on.
Final question about this is, outside of Jamaica and Canada, who else are you cheering for?
It stops. It stops. If Jamaica gets knocked out and it's Canada, then depending on who's on the team, maybe Bahamas. Look, I like to see the Caribbean do well, and because the Caribbean talent is, it's right to the top. Maybe it's not right to the top. I should say people from the Caribbean are more cognizant of their background and where they're from, and we all know the U.S. story is a little different, and with their slave trade and like how that went down, people are just saying I'm African American. That's where it ends. If that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. If you're able to trace your roots back and really find out where you're from and go to play for that country or visit it or do what you can do, then I think that's the way it goes. So it goes Jamaica, Canada, large space, and then whatever Caribbean country is going, I will rock with.
Thank you for the clarification of the deep gap.
No, there is a massive gap. I don't want to think I'm jumping sides. I'm not cheering for U.S. I'm not cheering for Caribbean first. No, sorry. Yeah, Jamaica, Canada, large gap, any Caribbean country. Yeah. Gunshots, whole time. Rep, whole time.
Question for you.
Shoot.
This week has been, we're reaching a really interesting point of a lot of the things that you and I are watching anime-wise.
Yes.
Because they're all culminating to either really, really big fights or really interesting parts of the story.
Yes.
So what have you watched this week? And what are you really excited about as far as action is concerned?
Okay, so what I have watched this week, the regular, I'm still doing JoJo's Adventure, still going strong.
I still need to start that, by the way.
It's an interesting story, and it keeps It's just an interesting story, man. It's a little funny. Like now, it's not like just arms man's fighting and throwing hands. Like now, it's like a funnier story, which I kind of enjoy.
That's fun.
Yeah. I think they did Joseph Joestar waist by giving him a waist stand. You'll understand what a stand is later, but I think giving this guy like that stand is really waste. We move along. I started Tomodachi games just
You
because
told me about. Whoa. So give me a quick like
I will,
footnotes.
I'll give you the quickest cliff notes. Tomodachi Games is very similar to like a Squid Games Light and the Eight. The Eight is a Korean show where eight people live in a building
Okay.
and they're being watched, and for them to make money, they have to do specific things to keep people who are watching them entertained.
It's like
And
a Big Brother thing.
yes and no. If you're on the eighth floor, you make the most money. If you're on the first floor, you make the least amount of money. Nobody can leave the condo complex, whatever, until everybody agrees to make the most money. The person at the top might make like 8 billion yen, but the person at the bottom might make 8,000, and they all have a thing that they gotta make. It's
That's
a really good show.
devastating.
If you want to watch it, it's on Netflix. It's called The Eight. Remember who put you on. Moving along,
Tomodachi game.
similar to like Squid Games and The Eight. It's
Okay,
like a very, it's just like that. Someone is controlling you and making you do whatever you have to do to kind of get out
Very
of it.
interesting.
Yeah, I need to change from like all the fighting and.
Wait, how the hell did you discover this?
This is a brother on TikTok. I'll put like one of his videos like in this. I'll send it to you. We'll put it somewhere in this so we can give that brother his flowers.
Hey.
But every now and again he posts like some animes that were like I slept on, and that one just really caught my eye at the moment. And it's a really easy watch, like 20 minutes. So I just flew through it. It's really good. Okay. Jack of all trades, still loving it. The storyline what it's turning into, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna turn into, but we'll deep dive on that.
That was slow. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll do that on another episode. I caught back on a free run.
Nice.
Yeah. Hell's Paradise. Wow. Hey. Wow.
I haven't seen it.
Wow. JJK.
Wow.
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 Hey. Wow. I know for people online who are like, yo, culling game is very confusing. It is and it isn't. I feel like it is and it isn't. It's confusing, but it's also like if you just sit with it and leave it at its bones and don't try to like do a deep dive of like why is this and why is that, it does get pretty simple. But I mean, as you go on, I haven't read it, so I don't know. But as you go on, I'm pretty sure like it starts becoming more and more clear. And finally, Fire Force. Wow. Wow. I watched the most recent episode, so at this point, this is where Arthur and Dragon have fought. Wow. I'll leave it at that. What are you watching?
Damn. Okay. I have watched all the ones that you mentioned, except Tomodachi games and
JoJo's.
And JoJo's, and also I have yet to catch up on Fire Force and Hell's Paradise. But I need to talk to you about Sentence to Be a Hero.
Oh please, the floor is yours.
Because that show,
the floor is yours,
is tough. I think so the most recent one that I caught up with, I believe it's episode 6 or 7. Anyway, they know how to end the show. Like, it's one of those things where you don't expect it at all. The animation style is fantastic. The storytelling is crazy.
Yes.
But the way that they portray the action, the scenes, like people are actually getting cut up, getting unalive. Like it's insane.
They're getting smoked. Yeah, they're getting smoked. So where are you right now? What's the last thing you saw?
Are you caught up?
Yeah. I'm good to go.
So
spoiler in 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. Sorry.
Where the guy's daughter cooked him, but it's not really his daughter.
Okay. Yes. In the underground.
In the tunnels, exactly.
Yes,
the sewers.
He's like, "Oh, are my kids safe?" And like, where are they? Like, oh, they're up there.
And then it pans to a pile of just destruction.
Yeah.
And then Buddy says, I would like to bury him, please.
And they're like, nah. Yeah.
And then also, what I want to talk about really quickly was when the guy, honestly, I apologize for not remembering his name, but when he was mentioning who he worked for and the Holy Night lady that's, kind of feeling Xylo at the moment.
Yes.
She was like, wait, what is that name?
When the preacher talking about, the same guy that got stabbed in the stabbed upstairs. Yeah, you're talking about the preacher, and then Kivia was like, that name you said, like, how do you know that name? You got to chase him, and they couldn't chase him because of whatever. Yes. Look, Sentence to Be a Hero for me is good. The fighting I don't like. I don't like Xylo's fighting, but that's because I really enjoy like the close range like combat. I'm not grasping the whole throwing knives, swords thing.
And explosions and happening.
Yeah, I'm not grasping that. But the story itself is cool. I really like it. And there's other characters around that would make me really, really like what's going on. I do like Since to be a hero. And I don't want it to be like overshadowed. It's just really good. And that was a really great episode actually.
Yeah.
I just didn't I thought it was gonna go a different way.
So here's actually a good question.
Shoot.
Because you love hand-to-hand combat, like it shows in Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter.
I love that.
Everyone just throws hands, like straight hands.
Yeah.
What is your preferred fight style? Is it just straight fisticuffs, or do you like a little bit of element where, like, for example, free range, like it's casting a spell or two, from long range?
No. I want Yusuke type. Yo,
bop, 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 bop.
Yeah, windbreaker. Like even so, leveling to like an extent. Obviously, like it's not just hands. Like it's a little, but it's not just. He's also not just casting spells. Like okay, yo. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, I need a little bit more. Like, nah, let's just get in this ring and just go to it. I need Gong. Like power that up. Even Deku's weird little. I like it, bro. The choice smash. Yeah, punch. Let's get right.
Or when Yuji's throwing Black Flash.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Asta getting down and busy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying.
Meliodas getting busy to it. Actually, Escanor. Let's talk about Escanor. Escanor getting busy with it. That's a guy, you know.
He's a guy.
Escanor's a guy. Jeez Louise.
Okay, so about 20 seconds ago, 30 seconds, you were like Fire Force. Wow.
Yes.
Tell me why.
Yes. Okay. So we will leave the Arthur and Dragon fight out until you catch up.
Okay.
So
yes, please. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. No spoilers there.
Okay.
Okay, but the Tamaki and Assault fight was actually fire. And first of all, I think it's dope how they use like Tamaki's ability to lose close, like confuse people. I think it's great. That whole episode was lovely. I get how it all tied in together. Mm-hmm. But I want to talk about the overarching thing with Fire Force, okay? Especially that specific episode.
Okay.
Fire Force is freaked out, bro. Fire Force is freaked out.
What?
Hey,
how? Explain.
Hey, for all the non-anime people, I promise you we have like some other non-anime topics to go into, but I gotta get this off my chest. Fire Force is freaked out. Let me tell you why. Okay? Tamaki beat Assault because she has this like thing when she's about to fight and get busy, her clothes pop off. It's revealing her lovely anime body, and that's how sometimes she'll confuse people, and that's how she defeated Assault. Assault couldn't attack her because her body was too wham for him to fight. Okay, now they are in the Great Cataclysm, and in this situation, what people believe to be is what happens.
Okay, yes, correct.
What people believe to be so if you believe, if everybody it's groupthink. Let's go with that. It's groupthink. So what everybody as a group believes will happen, and that will be portrayed in front of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Assault comes down
as a doppelganger.
Not the actual Assault, which they defeated. Yeah, he comes down and he's like, "Yeah, Tamaki, let's get to it." And she's like, bet. They're about to get to it. Her power happens. Her clothes go off. He's like, yeah, bro, this whole lewdness thing is not working. Like, dash with that, bro. Anybody who's weak off lust is weak, and I'm crushing that. And she was crushing her, and that's what happened. There was a mother in the background, like, her body's too nice, and da-da-da-da, like,
flaming her with her daughter, actually.
Yeah, the whole thing. Flaming him, doing the whole thing with the kid there, and being like, you can't have this, and just because you look good doesn't mean you should be looked at any better than anybody else. Okay, now let's get to Jim. Why do you think it's freaked out? I'm gonna tell you why I think it's freaked out. Okay, Assault's power is Assault's major attack is called a throbbing bullet. Okay, a throbbing bullet just comes from the sky and it shoots through. It's
Jimmy, what's a throbbing bullet?
No, I'm gonna walk the folks through this. Okay, so now in this massive fight, there's a doppelganger Assault. Okay, somehow I'm gonna edit this to make you guys see the picture, because I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. There's Assault here, okay? Doppelganger. There's Tamaki here in a bra and panty being yelled at by a mother who eventually disappears because the group think isn't working for her. Mm-hmm. And there's another Assault, the actual Assault that lost the fight initially to Tamaki because of the lewdness, okay?
Yes.
They are fighting with their best throbbing bullet. Okay, just flying through the air. Now the group, okay, the people, the mob that are watching what's going on, are now like, hey yo, hey y'all. Actually, what Tamaki is doing with her clothes off is actually showing us that we should all embrace our bodies. We're all different. We're all lovely, and the way for us to build hope in this cataclysm so it can end is for us to all believe. And reproduction is important. And without reproduction, we can't have a future. Therefore, we have to believe in Tamaki. That's what's happening now. Okay, so now the group takes off their clothes. The clothes are off.
All the bystanders,
Hey,
world is ending.
Okay, boxers, panties, briefs, bras. Cool. Again, it's fine. Okay. Now the initial assault is able to be like, if everyone's doing it, I'm doing it. So now he's,
freaked out too.
Freaked out. Boxes off, and they're fighting the other assault. Assault's like, yo, you guys are waste man, bro. Here's the throbbing bullet. Bow. Now hear me out. Okay. I want you guys to focus on what's going on here. Okay. Assault and Tamaki are like talking to each other while this fight is happening and dodging bullets, okay? Mm-hmm. Tamaki's body is like, it's cut, she has like a little six-pack, like everything's looking the way it's supposed to be looking. She's sweating, like it's looking the way it's supposed to be looking. The original assault is getting hyped now, okay? He's like, I'm gonna end this fight against this doppelganger right now because without lewdness and without this hope, we wouldn't have a future, therefore this has to happen. My boy says throbbing bullet, okay? The throbbing bullet, don't stop this, man. You need to focus. The throbbing bullet. Okay, I'm gonna look this way at the camera. The throbbing bullet. Okay, the sky opens up, and it peeks out. Okay, as he's like going through it, it peeks out, and the tip of the throbbing bullet. Pause if you need to pause. Tip of the throbbing bullet is now red, and as it's throbbing out, it's slowly pushing. It's like boom. It's like pulsing, like boom. I can't think of better words to put it to you guys. I want you guys to close your eyes and think of what I'm talking to you about. There's a massive bullet in the sky with a red tip, and every time I see Tamaki and talk to her about like how important essentially sex is and being together and building a future and body positivity, he is throbbing, making the biggest bullet he can make to end a doppelganger who believes that shouldn't be. Okay, so let's say it's 4 pulses of a massive, throbbing red bullet flying through the sky, knocks up the doppelganger. Doppelganger. Then Tamaki does a flip with her tail. If you know what's going on, like she has her tail energy, whatever. Cuts Assault in half, and it all ends. And everybody's there dancing in the street,
naked,
naked, having time of their life. Assault's like, yeah, this is the last time you're seeing me, and he wheels. And all I could say to myself was, why? Why did they do the bullet that way?
Scale of 1 to... I'm sorry, I don't want to answer your question with a question. 1 to 10, how freaked out was that Fire Force episode?
22. That's a freak. Hey, look, I understand. No, I don't understand actually. Because I'm not going to be like, this wasn't an intentional thing of like them depicting that. Because it was a part of what had to happen. I understand that the way that they were building hope was through, reproduction and that's how you build the future. It's just funny that specific scene and how it all came together was the way they depicted it. Now, I can't think of a better way for it to be depicted. That's what you're going to ask me. I don't think there was a better way. But I sat there for like looking at my phone, like that was some freaked out stuff, my brother. That was freaked out a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so obviously you've established a foundation that everything that in that episode had to happen.
Yeah.
For humanity to even stand a chance against the great cataclysm. Do you believe that that everything that transpired in that episode made sense in the overarching goal of humanity?
Oh yeah, like look, there's the fight, and then there's them being freaked out, and then there's what has to happen. So there's 3 arches. No, it's not McDonald's. There's 3 arches. You have to add another. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little IE.
Okay.
And I get it, and I understand it, but for those last like 10 minutes for that final move, it's a little freaked out. It's a little too close to. You know what I mean? It's a little too freaked out.
Was it entertaining?
I mean, yeah. Look how I describe it to you. I hope you guys who don't watch anime and like fast forward through these parts, at least could see it in your in your head that this was going on. I hope.
So speaking of, okay, you agreed to the fact that it was very entertaining.
Yes.
Obviously, people can look this up. Like, you just go on TikTok, you just watch, when they
Yeah,
Tamaki fight.
search freaked out. And go on TikTok and search freaked out Fire Force. I'm sure you'll find a bunch of stuff.
And I imagine that that gets a lot of like entertaining things get a lot of engagement. Would you agree?
No, naturally. Yes, I do agree.
And I also think like depending on, like you mentioned earlier, like just the crowd or the, what do you call it, the social media landscape right now
Yes.
is built more on entertainment. Like, for example, an episode like that would air literally an hour later. You see it all in socials, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that the engagement that it's bringing in, it's like, okay, just climbing and climbing and climbing. How do you feel about things that are more things that go viral versus other types of content like motivation and stuff?
You know, see, that is an interesting topic because before we started this podcast, well, not before we started, like before you press record today, I was watching a video
Mm-hmm.
from this guy named AB, and he was kind of like breaking down like content. He has 4 different channels. One of them was entertainment. His main was entertainment, and his
Uh-huh.
other one is motivation. That's where it's kind of. It's funny that you mentioned that. So like, for me, yes, the stuff that I get into initially is typically entertainment, and that's kind of like how it goes. Whether it's people reacting to funny videos, whether it's people making jokes, whether it's people reading Reddit stories, like whatever I find entertaining at the time can go. And then if somebody then builds upon it to add motivation after, whether in their podcast or on their YouTube page, becomes a little more tolerable, a little more tangible, a little easier to digest because I like this person already. So therefore, I'm just going to keep watching because that's what we do. And I think we talked about this briefly in episode 1, not this specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
However, if if someone is doing something like mad entertaining, and then they start adding something else, maybe not on their main channel, but they start adding it to their channel, it's a little bit easier to digest. So actually, I want to pose a question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this podcast, right?
Yep.
What me and you are doing here,
Yep.
essentially, is to build a space for people to tell stories, share, different personal events, and kind of go from there. Now, if we're doing on the flip side where we did this episode in episode 6 where it's much more light, more of like entertainment, just kind of conversational,
Yep.
discussing things, do you feel like our path to wherever, let's just say whatever, wherever 1,000 views, sorry 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers or whatever,
Yep.
would be easier if we stuck to just entertainment and want to interview but just entertainment, let's just do this, have it light, have conversations, make people laugh, whatever,
Yep.
or have a podcast the way it is currently where it's like a lot of entertainment, I think, hopefully it's entertaining as well as motivational.
Imagine people are like, yo. Anyway,
you guys are not entertaining at all. Actually, it's just straight. No, you know what I'm saying? like, what do you think about that? Like, where do you land on that?
I will have to say, and I will use the word unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
because all it takes is one entertaining clip to make its rounds, and as soon as that goes viral, sometimes that's all you're going to be known for.
Yeah.
And also in this, again, the social media landscape where the physical amount of people who engage in entertaining content more far outweighs that of people who seek, for example, motivational content.
Yeah.
And I feel it as if motivational content is a very, it's, I hate to say it, but it's almost a small part of the small piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Of what keeps engagement going, views generation, likes, clicks. So just based on what you and I are embarked upon, like this is our venture, I think it has to be a healthy mix of both.
That's a hope.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That is a hope. Like, and that's why sometimes when I have conversations with people who listen to the podcast or check in and pop in, whatever,
Yeah.
it's at least cool to know like which ones they gravitated to and which ones they enjoyed more. Because I mean, the people we're listening to right now, are people that know us. Right,
Yes,
so like whatever
true.
we're talking about on whatever level, people were like, "Oh yeah, I know Trizzy does that," or "I know Jimmy did this." So like, it's not so crazy for them to hear about a playground thing or like how that shook out or whatever. Or somebody who might pop in might be like, I don't really know this guy from wherever. Like, it doesn't really hit the same way.
Okay.
With episodes like this, someone can hear it and be like, "Oh, I'm Jamaican. I kind of like the basketball stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, I like anime. I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like these things, um, probably or certainly do resonate with like the general people who's just kind of scrolling and being like, oh, let me check this out. Let me hear this.
It
Let me hear
extends the
this.
reach.
It extends the reach,
Yeah.
but I also don't want to lose the motivational or helpful or whatever people want to call it. I don't necessarily be motivational, but like inspirational, whatever lane people want to put us in.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose that as well because I don't want to come here and just be like, all right, everything's a joke. Hey, very ha ha he's all day. Like that's not really what I want to get out of this in the long term.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do want to be entertaining because I think our personalities, as you talked about earlier, it work well off each other.
Yeah.
And I think that if we aren't able to portray that, then that's us not sharing who we are because we're so focused on what the message we're trying to get out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think in early episodes, I was so focused on making sure that we were portraying whatever topic we had written down.
Yeah.
That sometimes we lost like our personability. Like we have made personal stories, but like to get somebody to the 30, 28-minute, 25-minute mark, 30-minute mark, you gotta keep them in.
Yeah. I
Pause,
agree.
by the way. You gotta be able to you gotta be able to somehow keep them, you know what I'm saying? Somehow keep them engaged for that long. That isn't people that aren't people that we know or our friends or our partners or our cousins, like whatever, like people outside of that circle. Like how do we get those people to sit down and listen for long enough?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? I think you hit the bullseye on it too, because if we were to only skew towards one direction and one direction only, then that's all we're going to be not necessarily known for. But how do you keep that same audience engaged with that one version of content?
Yeah.
And what just popped into my mind is the fact that entertainment only lasts as quick as the masses consume it.
Facts.
Virality comes and goes like as quick as a snap of a finger. You know, your vocal stems are this one day, and the next day it's something else.
Yeah.
Right. So is there longevity in entertainment? Yes and no.
Yeah.
But if you stay true to kind of what the direction is, like you initially started, then mixing both is, I think, it's a perfect balance. To be honest.
No, I think so too. Like for all the podcasts that I listen to on the side and whatever else, and obviously I listen to this. I listen to a few, honestly, as much as I used to. A lot of them are separate from this. So like the entertainment podcasts and stuff. Besides the one I listen to, I try not to listen to others because I don't want to come here with like an idea that I think is original. Yeah. And then in the back of my mind, it was actually something I got from like Shits and Gigs or the Joe Budden podcast. So like I try to like be very cognizant of like not doing exactly what they're doing because I enjoy their podcast and I feel like that's just not genuine to whatever else.
Yeah.
So a lot of podcasts too is like basketball, sports.
Yeah.
Sports kind of related, just to pick up on what they're doing and see like how we can like mesh the worlds.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because sometimes I think also if you skew towards just the entertainment route purely, it dilutes your content to the point where you're dependent on current day events, and then you start. I don't know. I feel like you're chasing the dragon, like you're trying to come out with content that's you hope will stick, and you keep sticking to that formula. Yeah. And you start saying more outlandish things. You start fabricating things.
Yeah.
And you're losing like authenticity. You know.
Yeah, I mean, for people who are able to do that kind of stuff and stay current and whatever, like big up yourself. I think it's a lovely thing to be able to do such things. Yeah. I couldn't even do if I wanted to. If we were to sit here and be like a channel that does like music deep dives, I don't listen to enough like current music to even have a discussion. Fair. I don't know what's going on the socials and what do people think. Some people might think I do. I really don't. But be in my own world. My algorithms are the craziest things. And just to give you guys an example of what I mean with my algorithm are crazy things. So me and Trizzy have a whiteboard, okay, and we write ideas and we kind of like spitball things you want to talk about on this episode and say for whatever. Mm-hmm. An idea that I didn't put on the whiteboard because I didn't send it to Trizzy because I thought it was a little too wild. I'm just gonna say it anyway, so you guys understand when I say my algorithms are different. My algorithm different. Okay. So Trizzy, in Japan, lovely Japan. Okay.
Fantastic country.
I would love to experience it. Mm-hmm. and I will experience it.
Mhm.
They have a race. Okay, this race, sorry, this race is done in a chair, an office chair
Okay.
of sorts, not a gaming chair, not a gaming chair, an office chair. When you sit
Like an
down,
actual office chair.
like when you sit down, like maybe has like a very short back, and it's low to the
I
ground, three
hate
wheels,
that.
and just okay. So
Okay.
as we know, the Japan streets are different. They're just built different. Very little potholes. Very little potholes.
Mm-hmm.
They go through like a neighborhood.
Okay.
It's about like a, I think it's like an hour relay, and
Damn.
yeah, it takes time. And they are flying through the streets of Japan on a chair, drifting like. No, look, I want you guys to understand. People who aren't watching what's going on, okay? It's in a chair, very low back, helmets, knee pads, shin, every pad you can think about,
Head to toe.
gloves covered,
Mm.
and these men are sitting on a chair, feet back, corner, end in the corner, back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. I'm gonna send you the video so you can put like a very very short clip in. It's deep, man. And but this is what I mean, because these are the things I would talk about if we were like strictly entertainment.
I see where you're going with
That's
this.
what I'm saying. Like,
Thank you for tying it all
yeah,
together.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like, those are the talk about entertainment because that's so entertaining to me. Like, these mans are popping champagne on the podium, you know, in the camera. Said,
PG
yo,
on the office chairs.
they
Crazy.
said, yo, man, to do it. Man, they're breaking world record in the office chair. Yo, when I seen that man bend in the corner of the office chair, I said, these guys are built different.
Okay, wait, actually, sorry. Do they all have the same chair, or can they modify their own chairs?
You see, but now you understand. Now you see where I'm
I'm
going
locked.
with it. The chair, I'm locked, brother. I sat there and I said, yo. And to think,
What the hell?
yes, bro, these mans were turning, drifting. I said,
That's
yeah,
hard.
these guys are tough.
That's hard. That's how life
For-
should be lived.
Fam, simple. A man said, why can't we
Why not?
race in office chairs? Who's stopping us? Who's gonna say no?
And that man pulled out a video camera, and man's just put head
And
to toe
then
protection.
man started fronting it because you had to put the money on to do it in the streets. This is real. This is really happening. That's what I'm trying to say to
You need
man.
approvals, you know.
So you get it. You have to pay for the champagne, the coverage, the streets to make sure. Yeah,
It's a broadcast.
You need at least what 2-3 ambulance there in case a man
Easy.
flips over on a chair.
Look, one to security, you know what I mean?
You get me?
Yeah.
I'm saying, man, bend the corner. I said, oh, I'm in the wrong country. I need to get in. I need to get in these sports. You know what I mean? My ham just be man moving like Sonic. Yo, you guys don't get it, bro.
That's
I
funny,
was
bro.
crying.
Yeah, you need to send me that.
I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm like, this guy's gonna think I'm bugging, yo. This guy's gonna think I'm tripping. I'm not gonna send this video, but now I am. I was gonna. Yeah, I have a few of these ones in the tuck. I'm like, I gotta figure out how to get this on the episode. That's how I can tie it together.
Okay. So obviously you have a crazy algorithm.
Crazy, yeah.
Different types of, so and so. You
Yes,
get
sir.
from travel to
Yes, sir.
man's racing in an office chair.
Yes, sir.
I this is actually a question posed by you, and I wanted to surface it.
Yes.
So I'm just going to use the word types.
Okay.
Okay. In the world of entertainment, heavy social media, a lot of influence, as crazy as office chairs, or as simple as someone sharing a recipe and they're cooking it. Let me take this to the life of the real world.
Yeah.
Where obviously influence aside, relationships in this day and time are quite interesting and intricate, but also very difficult. In the basis of attraction is, in my opinion, and you tell me if you have a different opinion.
Of course.
At the very minimum, starts at physical attraction. My question is, does being someone's type matter?
Look, I might be like an outlier on this, but like, I think I don't. People don't always go for the type, and like the reason I talk about this, and I want to keep it short. 'Cause I don't want to make this go on longer than it has to. But
Yeah.
like somebody, a lot of people can fall for someone who isn't their type over time, and like physically, yeah, you can fall for someone, and that person could be a terrible person.
Yeah.
And why would I stay with someone who's a terrible person? Because they aesthetically look like what I think I should be with. You know what I mean? So like when you're on that, like when you put it, that's how I look at it. If you put it that way, then I don't think people should put types so high on like their pedestal of things that are of importance. I think there's much more important things. Are they emotionally available? Are they emotionally intelligent? Like, do they understand what you're going through and like your social cues and like how to back off of things and whatever. Am I saying that you should date somebody who you wake up and you're like, I actually don't find this person attractive, but they're nice? No. If that's the case, don't bother. But are we gonna sit here and be like, all my types are red flags, therefore I'm gonna date red flag for the rest of my life? Let's be so for real.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
reason I wrote this down was because I was watching a video on X, Twitter, whatever, and the lady said the my husband, who I love and I'm with, whatever, was initially my type, and after some courting and whatever, I felt this person, we got married, live a happy life, but initially they weren't my type, and people in the comments like really upset about that.
Interesting.
I didn't feel that way because I can understand that. Like, I I'm not in a predicament, to be clear. However, I could understand someone being like, you know what? Initially, um, I go for somebody who is X amount tall, maybe more built, has long hair, has
Yeah.
this, whatever. That's what they go for.
Yeah.
However, after getting to know you, you have everything else. I'm fine with it. Like, and you're attractive. You're just not like who I would have stopped in the club to be like, oh, let me give you my number right now. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing. You told me if I'm tripping on that, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. But like you said, like someone could be extremely attractive, but if your personality is like a bag of bricks, where you know what I mean? Like there's no. I think at that point it's just lust.
Yeah.
It's just lust.
Then you end up like a salt. you end up like a
You're just
end up like a salt with it.
shooting throbbing bullets.
Shooting throwing bullets at these
Literally shooting throbbing
at these
bullets.
things with no personality.
And you know
With
what?
some
I think,
back.
and look, for what it's worth, I think having physical attraction is important because who knows? Down the road, it might end up being that's the person for you down the road, and there has to be a level of physical attraction at the very minimum. But if that's all you're going for, then you're
Yeah.
just I think not necessarily settling, but I think your priorities are not in order.
Yeah.
Because look, someone could be super attractive, but then you try to hold a conversation, and they can't even hold a conversation. You're not being stimulated mentally, physically maybe, but your mental, the spiritual, the psychological. It's just almost nothing you can get out of it, like just from a satisfaction perspective, like being stimulated in different ways outside of physicality.
And I just want to pivot really quickly because I just had this thought as we were discussing this. if if you're dating somebody, okay, and you're getting to know each other, it's a courting stage, everything is blessed,
Mm.
and you're like, hey man, so like, what's your type? And they're like, I don't really have a type. What is your initial thought? What's your initial thought when someone gives you that response? I have mine, but I'll let you go.
Let me fly first.
Oh no, please. Yeah.
When someone says they don't have a type, in my opinion, is that um, it simply comes down to the fact that either A, they haven't had that experience of having different levels of either conversation or exposure to the different personality types.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people, it's like the quote unquote safe answer. I don't really have a type because your decisions can be easily swayed, either by someone that your person A could versus person B, both very
Mm-hmm.
different personalities,
Mm-hmm.
but you can be swayed by either or based on your lack of foundation.
See, I like your point, and I like where you're taking this. I'm gonna be a lot more direct. I think they're lying. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it, man. I don't believe like someone's there like, yeah, I have no type, whatever. Everybody likes something. There's something that you're attracted to, and that's kind of like if you were in a bar or you were in the mall walking and you saw somebody who's like, oh yeah, this person's attractive, whatever. That person's attractive. I like this cut of person.
Mm.
That's okay, man.
So they're
That
just
is
straight up
okay.
lying.
That's the way I look at it. That's the way I feel about it. Like when someone tells me like, "Oh, I don't have a type. Everyone I've dated isn't the same." I'm like, I mean, but aren't they though?
I see what
Like,
you're
aren't they
saying.
like? I'm sure there is a tying factor into something that makes them the same. Like, maybe one person is taller than the other. Maybe one person's skin is a little bit lighter or darker than the other. Sure,
Mm.
but like at the crux, like core of it, there is something that you're looking for that maybe you just haven't, sat down and really thought about. Like, okay, maybe I am looking for that, and that's kind of where the connection is. And I think more people need to recognize that, like, there probably is. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not gonna tell you what is or isn't, but there probably is something that is connecting this person or this person or this person or that person that you're just not thinking about. Like, you're looking like physically. Yeah, this person taller. This person weighs less. Whatever. But there is something or some things that you gravitate
You're
to
drawn to.
that you don't want to adjust because the physical on the outside they all look different. That's not enough for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me,
It's
it's
not,
it's not, it's not
and I
enough.
think it'll. I will never. I'll not say it's never enough because unfortunately there are circumstances
Of course.
where that's the only thing.
Yeah.
But you and I agree that it's. I personally think even the physical aspect is like 20-25% of the pie,
Yeah. Look, for
maybe more. I don't know.
for some people, I'm sure it's higher than a quarter. Some people it's half. Some people it's more. Like, some people need that like physical stimulation for them to get going.
Yeah, sure,
And I
sure.
mean, look, I mean, for again, I said I wasn't going to go on this for long, but whatever. For men, I'm sure we look at somebody and we're like, oh yeah, that's I bet I could rock with that, and then you try to work everything back from there.
Sure.
Because what else you do? There's nothing else to really go off of if you don't talk to somebody. If you just see somebody's picture or you see them walking by you, all you can do is talk to them and kind of like figure it out.
Well, it's a preconceived notion,
Yeah,
aka a quick judgment.
I mean, that's all you have. You have like just 3 seconds to like make an impression, typically. So you gotta go out there, say what you gotta say. If it clicks, you keep trying. If not, whatever. I know a lot of people that were beat themselves over the head because somebody's really pretty and they really want to make it shake. I mean, at this point, I don't think being pretty is enough. I don't think being handsome is enough. But again, that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, but to make the overall, to bring it all, tie it all back together. If someone says like, if someone came to me and we were dating, and you're like, you weren't like my specific type when I saw you, but da 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 da.
Mm.
As long as da 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 sounds good and
Yeah.
it makes sense, I can live with it. If you're like, I just want my type, but we worked, I don't know. I don't like that. Sell it to me at least. If you're gonna say I'm not your type,
Sell it to me.
I can live with it. But sell it to me though. Don't just make it be like I'm not your type. But hey, we got a kid now, so Pitney don't hold mine again, huh? So just
Waters get muddy, you know.
yo, yeah, just know that, like, so
Sticky one.
just make sure, if you're spinning this whole like, he wasn't really my type, but da da da. Make sure the da 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 da
Yeah.
is a good da da da. Like, don't
Exactly.
at least a beg, especially in the
Yeah.
social media era. A beg, please, just make it so it doesn't sound so.
I know. Very cookie cutter.
Yeah, made me feel good with myself. Like, I saw you were my type, but after we talked, you smooth as hell, man. I was like,
Oh wow, you
right.
can dunk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got it. It's like, yeah, okay. I like that about him initially. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
type
coach
shit,
kids.
type shit. Yeah. But yo,
That's excellent, man.
no, I mean, hey, you get it.
I
Look,
get it.
Triz,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you homework, man.
Yes, please.
I need you, when you get some time,
Mm-hmm.
to watch that Arthur Boyle and Dragon fight. I think it's something. I think that IMD ratings is exactly what it should be.
9.9. It says.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what it should be.
No
and,
kidding. A 9.9.
And I think the reason why I think it's so like exactly what it should be, because Arthur is actually the epitome of like hope. Well, one of the epitomes of hope. Like, he's exactly what like exactly what the great Cataclysm does not want to see. He's a person who the great Cataclysm does not want to see. Like, he's a person who just believes
He's delusional.
he's a guy. He's super confident. He is who he is. There's nothing else you can tell him. And I think that fight will like paint the picture of like how the great Cataclysm and how hope or belief or whatever is exactly
what humanity needs.
what my needs. Yeah, yeah.
So the belief of hope and freaked out.
I'm freaked out. Freaked out. Look, Trizzy,
Yes.
the floor is yours, man. Give him some final words.
You know what? One thing I want to share is is that no matter how difficult your week is, how busy you are, always remember that anytime you wake up the next day and you breathe the Lord's air, that's a blessing in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
No matter the trials and tribulations, understand that these are things that you are built to overcome, and that every day that you wake up in the Lord's air is a blessing.
Deep, that's how you feeling today?
Yes.
Hey,
I went through it this week, to be honest.
I know you've been busy,
but I still woke up and I said, you know
have
what?
life.
Horses don't stop, we keep going.
What Thug say? Horses don't stop. They keep going.
I'll pass the mic to you.
Look, man, hey man, say man. No, for real. Yeah, look, this week for me, this month thus far, it kind of like opened my eyes more to realizing like I am somebody who just craves more for myself, for me. Like I want to make sure that like I am operating at peak functions. I am doing the most that I can to make sure I can provide the life that I want to provide for the future, set myself up. So if you are like that, give yourself some grace. I spent a lot of years not doing that. Like I always felt like I was behind the eight ball, no matter how far ahead I've gotten, whether it be in weight loss or whatever the case may be, or whether it be in professional business and working in jobs. Like I always felt like I was behind the eight ball. And recently, I've accepted the fact that like I don't see myself or where I am as what's actually fact. Like where I am today compared to like where I was previously, I don't, I blur the lines too much.
Okay.
And I need to separate those two and give myself like, no, no, Jimmy, you got there. In that aspect, but there's still work to do, but you got there, so you can now enjoy this spot as opposed to being like, nah, I can't enjoy nothing. I got to keep going. So, said all to say, give yourself grace. Um, don't blur the lines of like where you were and where you are. It is two different people. It is two different. It might be two different environments, whatever the case may be. Give yourself grace.
And I like to end this actually on one thing that just
Please go ahead.
Came to my mind. There's a very, very, very important person in my life that shared with me that said, Tristan, it's very important to sometimes slow down and smell the flowers. And I think that's so important because you get caught up in the rat race, man. And then
Amen.
And you know what? And you just lose sight of everything that you've built so far and how high you've climbed the mountain that you don't even slow down and smell the progress that you've made. Like, so to your point, like, so slow down and smell the flowers from time to time.
Slow down, smell the flowers. And while you're slowing down, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I almost forgot that. Come on, baby. I'm getting to my podcast bag. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Mess with us, man. We getting better. We getting better. You see, I got the headphones on. If you're watching the YouTube, you know what's going on, man.
Quality assurance, baby.
Quality assurance. We on it, man. Look, Trizzy, thank you for continuing to do this with me. It means the world. I want to give you the flowers on the podcast. Nothing more to add. Do not give me flowers back. Just take them and go about your business. Okay? This is just for you. So thank you for doing this with me. I know this has been a busy time for you. I mean, obviously we talk daily, so you know what's going on. But I appreciate you. The feedback I'm getting back, the audience appreciates you. The 10, 20, couple people that listening, we all appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, guys.
And we are signing out. Y'all be safe, man. Peace.
Peace.